Also, there is no, that's math. Sometimes I confuse myself. No, that's I'm lying to you. Don't listen to me. Hello! It has been so long since I've done a video, probably about 2 or 3 months now. And I haven't made a video because honestly, until now, I haven't really done much. I did finally finish my survey for world history, which was my first performance assessment task, which is just the task that you kind of have essays or PowerPoints, things like that. So I'll kind of get into what exactly that class entailed. So I finished that class and my next semester will start on February 1st. So I'm still working on a few classes and I might be able to squeeze them in before the semester's over. If not, it doesn't matter because I already made my on-time progress. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the performance assessment. So this is, like I said, this is the first class I did a performance assessment for. So I believe that every class is a little bit different, but in general, they're pretty much along the same lines. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go down to taskstream, which as soon as you open the course, you'll go down, it'll be a little yellow button, it'll say taskstream on it. My suggestion is to just start off with that. Before you read any of the content or anything, just go right into the taskstream and read the tasks and see what they want from you. So while you're reading, you know what to be looking for and what you're going to have to be answering later on when you actually sit down to do the task. So basically for a performance assessment, there's a set number of tasks. For this particular class, there was 5 tasks. So each is a different assignment that you hand in. And in each task, there's different prompts and questions for you to answer. So it'll be like A1, A2, A3, and then there might be sub-questions of those. And then there's going to be a B1, B2, B3, things like that. For Survey of World History, task 1, the first part is a chart. So you're just gonna, there is a chart that you can fill out, and in the task stream, it'll give you a link to to download the actual chart that you can just fill it in. You just basically fill that in with all the information. Tasks 2, 3, and 4, those ones were more based on essays. Paragraphs or several paragraphs. It really depends on what they're asking. Now, I know a lot of people have trouble determining how much they should write for each question, and the best way to answer that question is to go watch the live cohorts or the recorded webinars, because they lay it out for you exactly how much you should have. So like if one question should be 1 paragraph long, that's going to be much easier than you thinking you need to write a 3-page paper on that one question when it's only a paragraph. So if you go to those cohorts, they'll be able to lay it all out for you and just tell you exactly how many the evaluators are looking for that particular task. And then on task 5 is actually a PowerPoint presentation, and I really like PowerPoints because you can kind of be creative and it's not just the monotonous just writing. My suggestion is just to write it in a Word document and save it, and then you could just upload it. So when you upload it, you're going to get to the main page of the course and you're going to just scroll down until you see the yellow button that says task stream, and you're going to click on it. And once that page loads, towards the middle of the page on like the left hand side, you'll see general instructions, APA format, guidelines for your citations, and then you'll see the actual name of the course. So click on the name of the course, and then as soon as you open that, underneath it, it'll say task 1, 2, 3, 4. So just go ahead and click on task 1, read through it, it'll tell you what you want. Most of the tasks tell you about how many pages it should be. So for this task, it was generally about 2 to 5 pages, or 3 to 5 pages, I think 3 to 5 pages. So that was the average for this class. So what I do is I immediately just copy and paste the whole thing and put it in WordPad, and then go back and read through and find out the answers to my questions and kind of form my thoughts. What I do, I know a lot of people are different, they'll just write A1 and then answer it, or A2 and answer it. What I like to do is I just keep the directions right in there and I highlight the questions, and then underneath the highlighted question, I'll put my essay or my paragraph and my answer to those. So that way the evaluators don't have to say, well, is this what she was trying to answer, or was that one what he was trying to answer? And they might get confused. So I just keep it all in there. You don't have to do that. You can just number them, but definitely number them. Another common issue a lot of people have, it seems, is they're not sure if they should answer because it says suggested length 3 to 5 pages. They're not sure if they should answer all of the questions and make that all into one essay, and the answer is no. They don't want you to make it all into one essay. They want you to answer it separately. So it is separate questions, and they are supposed to be answered separately. Like I said, some of them will be a few paragraphs, some of them will be a little bit longer, and definitely speak with a course mentor or watch those recorded webinars or go to a live one if you have the time. The woman who does the recorded ones, she's fantastic. She just lays it all out for you, so it's really nice. You get kind of an idea of what they're looking for, and it really kind of, it takes some of, when I first look at a task, it's kind of like, oh, what am I supposed to do? I have no idea what's going on. So when you go and you watch the webinar or the cohort, it's so informational, and it really helps you kind of break down exactly what you need to do. And I feel like it just gives you a step up for not having to get the test sent back for revision. I usually do double-spaced, 12-point font, Times New Roman, just kind of the basics. I don't believe I've seen any instructions on exactly how to do that, but I feel like in general that's basically where paper should be at, double-spaced, 12-point font. And I always hit my 3 to 5 pages, and that was including the questions written out. So, and as long as you're hitting that 3 to 5 pages or whatever the suggested length tells you, then you should be fine with it. And like I said, the first task is going to be a chart, so you just fill in that chart, and then tasks 2, 3, and 4 are just basically kind of writing paragraphs. And then the last one is a PowerPoint. So for me personally, I just put all of the information on the PowerPoint on each slide, but there's this thing called presenter notes, and I can't even tell you how to use them, but I heard about them, and basically it's so you have less information on the slides, and the presenter notes are for if you are presenting it to a class, you're going to have your notes in front of you so you can read them while you're telling them what exactly is on the slide. Now I think that's just for Microsoft PowerPoint. Like I said, I'm not sure how to use them, but that is also an option if you don't want to put all of the information and clutter up your slides. That's something that maybe you can Google because like I said, I can't even begin to tell you how to use them because I've never used them before. And then with the PowerPoint, you just kind of just read through what they're expecting of you. And also for task 5, a lot of people also get confused with this, because it can be kind of confusing. Do they want a PowerPoint for the whole task and just put each question together, or do they want half a PowerPoint and half paragraphs? Like, what do I do? The answer is they want the PowerPoint. Like, they want the whole thing PowerPoint, and they just kind of mesh together, and you'll see when you actually see the questions for it. I cannot show you anything or tell you exactly what the questions are, because obviously it's not mine to share. It's property of WGU, and it's actually illegal for me to show you anything from their site or any of the course information. So I can't exactly show you what I'm talking about, but once you actually go through and look at it, I promise you'll understand a little bit more. But for task 5, definitely just the whole thing is just a PowerPoint. You're going to have a cover page, and then you're going to have all like your meat pages, and then at the end it'll be your references. Which brings me to that. Your bibliography or your citation or your references, whatever you want to call it, you should always use those for your performance assessment. So basically you just need to, wherever you find the information, you need to cite it. You need to give credit to the person who actually wrote it and who is giving you this information. So if you are directly quoting, you need to use your in-text citation, which is just in parentheses after the quote would be the author's last name and then the date that it was published. So at the very end, like your last page of your essays or the last PowerPoint, you're just going to have a list of your references, and WGU wants you to use the APA format, and you can find those online. And some of the sites that you can use are the Purdue Owl, or you could just go to the WGU Writing Center. And it's really important for you to kind of familiarize yourself with how to do the APA format, because you're going to see it on every performance assessment. If you're using outside sources, which most of us are, because we don't know, if we knew all of this information, then we wouldn't be going to school. So if you're going to be quoting or just using general information, you need to cite it. So with that being said, a lot of people have heard about the site Turnitin, which is a online database that actually takes papers that go through Turnitin, who have been submitted through Turnitin, and they check for plagiarism to basically see if you've copied somebody else's work instead of using your own. So a lot of people get really confused when they're turning in their tasks, because they think, okay, I need to go to turnitin.com and like put it in through that and then I can submit it. No. With WGU, you submit your paper, and I'll tell you how to do that in a minute, and then it automatically generates through Turnitin. The program is installed within taskstream, and they give you your originality report, which tells you how much of your paper matches somebody else's. If you get over 30%, it means that a lot of your work seems to be quoted from someone else and it's not original work, and you could get it sent back for revisions if it's over that 30%. So when you are submitting your paper, you're going to go right back into the task stream, and you're going to click on your task, and at the top of that little section on like the right hand side, there's going to be an attachments button, and you just click attachments, and then you hit, I believe it's upload file, and then you're going to find your file wherever it is in your computer, double click it, it'll go in there, and then you hit upload, it'll upload, and then you would hit on the top right, there'll be a submit button. So once you submit that, you're good to go, and an evaluator will be looking at it. Usually it takes, they say, up to 72 hours to grade it, and it's really fantastic, because also at the top, after you submit it, there's a button that says, there will be a button that says scores and results. So if you click on that, it'll show you all 4 tasks, and it'll let you know which ones are submitted. So once your first one's submitted, it'll say in queue, and it'll tell you what number in line you are. So you could be 307th in line, and as they grade the papers before you, your number will go down until you are in evaluation. And I really like that feature. I feel like that's really cool to kind of see when you're going to be graded and when to expect that grade. With all 5 of my tasks, none of them went over 3 days. So I always got my results within 3 days. Also, in that scores/report tab, when you click on that, there'll be a button that says originality report. So normally about half an hour after you submit your task, you can click on that originality report button, and that button will let you know your percentage from Turnitin. So it'll say 4% or 25%, and like I said, you want it to just be under 30% for your originality score, so that way they know most of this is like your own words and your own thoughts. Okay, so once your task is done being evaluated, usually you'll get a notification that said it's in evaluation, and this doesn't happen to me, but some people, it says that they're in evaluation for hours, and when you're in evaluation, that means like someone is grading your paper right now. So I don't know if whatever program they use, like the person can just open it and then like maybe take their lunch break and then come back to it after. I'm not sure how that works, but sometimes I heard you can be stuck in evaluation for several hours. Hasn't happened to me. Usually when I get the notification that evaluation has started, usually within like an hour, I get my results, and I get a notification for that, and then right in that scores and results tab, you click on that and it'll say meets requirement, or I assume it will say needs revision. I haven't had that problem thankfully yet, but if it says it needs revision, then there's somewhere in your paper that you didn't quite meet the rubric, and if you didn't meet that, then there's just something that might need to be tweaked. That does not mean that you need to redo your whole task. The evaluator will give you your notes and let you know which parts you kind of missed on, and you just kind of go back and tweak that, and then you can resubmit it. And then once you get all your tasks in and they all meet requirement, automatically your class turns blue and you are done. And it took me so long to do this class. I did not like this class at all. A lot of people complain about the C-181, the Constitution and Government, and that was like a cakewalk for me, and I didn't like that class either, but this class, I don't know what it was. Also, there's a lot of resources that you can use. Like I said, use the cohorts and the recorded cohorts, and those are really fantastic. Talk to your course mentor. They're very helpful. Also, there's a YouTube channel called CrashCourse, which is just like a bunch of short videos on history. So it kind of gives you the history lesson in a fun way, and you'll just search for a crash course. I'll actually link the site below for you, because it was pretty interesting to watch those, and it was a fun way to learn something that's like otherwise really boring. So those are definitely helpful. You're probably going to use a lot of outside sources for the task, especially task 5. You need to have pictures in your PowerPoint, and those all need to be cited. Everything needs to be cited if it's not yours, including pictures. So, you're just like searching on Google. A lot of people use Britannica, the encyclopedia website, which was very helpful and accurate. You want to stay away from sources like Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is not always accurate. You want to use credible sources, whether it's from a college, or a lot of .org sites are reputable, or even just the encyclopedia site. Just make sure you know what you're reading and that it's accurate. And if you have questions about whether or not that's a good source, you can always ask your course mentor, because they'll be able to tell you right off the bat if that is a good resource for you. Performance assessments really weren't too bad. I still prefer the objective assessments because that's multiple choice, and I just do better on those kind of tests. But like I said, just talk to your course mentor. Even send them a copy of your task before you submit it, so that way they can tell you if you're on the right path or not. And as I always say, just utilize the course mentors. They are there to help you, they want to help you, and they are fantastic. So I really hope this video was helpful for you. I'm sorry if anything was confusing. Like I always say, if you have any questions or need to clarify anything, just ask me in the comments and I'll do my best to help you. I am just kind of trying to give my experience to people so they kind of know what they're getting into when they take these classes. I am by no means at all an expert. I don't know everything about these classes or even how WGU works. I just trying to share my journey with you guys and doing the best I can to help you, and I will try in any way that I can to give you the most accurate information I possibly can. And hopefully it won't be too long until my next video. I am working on math and cultural studies and diversity right now. Yes, I'm working on both of them at the same time. So once I'm finished with those, I'll give you guys an update on that. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I'll see you guys next time.